Good evening to all officers for joining us today. And with us, we'll start the session without any further ado. With us, the first guest of the evening, Sri Siddharth Dahiya ji. Sir is the CEO of Peregrine Guarding Private Limited. Peregrine is part of the 1800 crore plus Enon Group, which has more than 80,000 people on its roll as of today. Mr. Dahiya has been a security professional for more than 3 decades. And when Sir started, the company strength was around 200. He has rounded it up to around 90 times to 18,000 employees, or rather 900 times to 18,000 employees as of today. We have the honor of you today joining us as our first guest, and Sir would be touching on as to how guarding and physical security and asset protection is one of the major growing industry in the security domain as of today. Welcome on the top, Siddharth sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, great, Vipul.
मैं पहला सवाल आपसे यही पूछना चाहूंगा, अगर आप ही थोड़ा सा मुझे अपने बारे में बताएं, मतलब हाउ यू हैव अपना और थोड़ा पेरिग्रीन के बारे में अगर हम लोग को वाकिफ करें तो.
Yeah, sure, Vipul. So, firstly, thank you for inviting me to this webinar and giving me this opportunity for sharing my views in front of this august gathering of veterans of this industry in different fields. Let me take this opportunity to compliment you for taking this initiative of organizing this webinar, which will certainly add value and knowledge to every one of us who is part of this webinar. Though, Vipul, you have already introduced, but let me give a light to my professional journey so far.
So,
Currently, I am the Chief Executive Officer of Peregrine Guarding and have been associated with the organization since 2000. I started my journey with Peregrine as an assistant manager on 2nd Jan 2000. And luck would have it that on the similar date, 2nd Jan 2023, I was elevated and handed over the responsibility as CEO of the organization. I joined Peregrine when we had a small strength of 200 employees, and today we have more than 80,000 staff deployed all across the country at 16,000 pin codes, I would say, we are covering. The journey so far has been wonderful, adaptive, challenging, and I have enjoyed every moment of this journey. Though I have started my career with Indo Holland in 1993, and I was on the other side of the table. While working there, I realized that my enthusiasm, energy, and attributes were not utilized to the fullest. Thus, when I got the opportunity at Peregrine, I realized that this industry is tailor made for me because every day it was a warlike situation wherein I was fighting this war on multiple fronts, such as handling various client expectations, escalations, client losses, fund flow crunches, various operation issues, training, and team building, which can withstand operational delivery at the farthest remotest areas, along with the challenges to sustain, grow, and become profitable. And people, now my goal is with our robust team is to make Peregrine the biggest security company of the country.
lofty goal, sir. I guess as of today, you are at number 3 in terms of the number of guards and turnover in India.
Yes, we are at the number 3 position right now.
For a country like India, that's very major achievement. So my next question would be कि सर आप आज से कहाँ देखते हैं गार्डिंग, फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी और एसेट प्रोटेक्शन एज अ इंडस्ट्री, आप कहाँ देखते हैं, बिकॉज यू आर वन ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स. तो आपके हिसाब से इस इंडस्ट्री का फ्यूचर ग्रोथ, स्केल, वॉल्यूम किस तरह से बढ़ने वाला है और क्या आपको लगता है होगा इसमें?
Yeah, sure, Vipul, 20, 30 years back, this industry was highly unorganized and guards were treated as chowkidars. Post 2000, when the IT software companies like Microsoft, Accenture, Fidelity, Converges entered in India, that was the time when requirement of organized security services was felt. Since these IT companies were MNCs and process driven, they introduced the organized security processes which helped the Indian security industries to adopt learn the proper security concept, and that helped to graduate so-called chowkidars to a skilled and trained security personnel. The inflow of these IT and software industries corresponded to the growth of other sectors like banking, infra, manufacturing, auto, hospitality, insurance, and the new sector now, e-commerce, which everybody is aware, which led to the fast expansion of this security sector. And people, by now, the government also felt that importance of this sector needed to be regulated. Thus, Basara Private Security Regulation Act was introduced in 2005 by the central government and subsequent implemented by the other state in India. At present, the industry is one of the biggest employer with a manpower strength of approximately 1 crore and growing with a pace of 50 to 20%. Right now, the ratio of unorganized or to organized is approximately 70-30%, which is changing from unorganized to organized sector at the rate of 5 to 2% every year because of the strict labor compliance regulations in the country. As the sector is getting more and more organized and regulated, the small players in the sector will be replaced by the big compliant companies. Keeping in view the GDP growth of India, which is 6 to 7% every year, it is much likely that this sector will grow multifold in coming 10 years. And because of the inequality, financial inequality in the country, the requirement for more private security services will increase. Thus, this industry has a high potential to absorb skilled military, paramilitary personnel.
तो आपके हिसाब से सर जो ये 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा जो लोग एम्प्लॉयड हैं उसमें से 70% अभी भी अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड है, इनके ऑर्गेनाइज्ड होने में ही इंडस्ट्री में एक बहुत बड़ा शिफ्ट आ जाएगा।
यस
और जो ऐड होंगे वो अलग है, जो विद इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ एंड विद जो प्लस होगा वो उसके अलावा है। सो द इंडस्ट्रीज is actually looking forward to hiring armed forces talent.
Absolutely.
Okay. सर टेक्नोलॉजी का जो अब है, जैसा आपने खुद बोला कि अब ये चौकीदार से स्किल्ड मैन पावर की तरफ शिफ्ट हो रहा है एंड परसेप्शन भी चेंज है, प्रोसेसेस भी हैं, गवर्नमेंट ने प्रसारा भी इसके अंदर इंक्लूड किया। तो टेक्नोलॉजी इसके अंदर क्या फर्क डाल रही है इन द एंटायर इंडस्ट्री ऑफ गार्डिंग, एसेट प्रोटेक्शन, प्राइवेट फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी? What is the role of technology, sir?
Yeah, Vipul, very good question. I think one of the most relevant question, I would say. Currently, the industry has a combination of 70-30 ratio in terms of man-machine deployment for security services. But I foresee that the ratio will reverse in the coming 10 years. Initially, the market was not mature enough to adopt the technology, and tech came as an expensive proposition for the clients. But gradually, clients understood the importance of tech in security and started integrated it with man guarding. For example, access control systems, visitor management systems, material management systems. Integrated security solution including artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and in various stages of being embedded in state and state-of-art security solutions. The canvas expand to employment of drones, real-time dashboards, digital apps, and could stretch to Internet of Things in the times to come. Our tech security division has been looked after by Soteria. Soteria is looking forward to expand security beyond remote surveillance, remote monitoring solutions, AI-driven solutions like CMS, visitor management system, parking management systems, intrusion control system, manless surveillance technology. Now, our company, Soteria Security and Surveillance Technology, currently monitors over 3,000 locations in India with a deployment of more than 12,000 cameras and equipments across IT, ITS, telecom, retail, education, manufacturing, industry spread all across the country, UK, and Singapore. Envisaging the need for technology, we have recently invested about INR 20 million in a company called DeepSight AI Lab Private Limited. The long-term objective is to be a technology company which provides integrated security solutions rather than predominantly physical security. So this is what my thoughts on the technology front of the security.
तो टेक जो है वो एक मेजर रोल प्ले कर रहा है ऑलरेडी एंड यू हैव ऑलरेडी इंटीग्रेटेड दैट इनटू योर प्रोसेसेस एंड सिस्टम्स.
Yes, yes.
ओके सर, थोड़ा सा एक पर्सनल क्वेश्चन, इफ नॉट
Yeah,
एन
please.
एक्यूरेट आंसर, कैन यू गिव मी अ ब्रॉड दिस थिंग कि अभी आपके साथ में कितने एक्स फौजीज आपके पास होंगे, ऑफिसर्स एंड मेन बोथ, अगर हम बात करें?
If you would take on the guarding level, so around 7% is the ex-servicemen on the guarding force. And as far as our, like, we have more than 1,000, like on officers level, right now there are around strength of, like, we have back end strength of 1,000 from like field officers to higher officers. So it's not that high. It's because I'll touch base on that, because most of the officers, they tend to go on the client side rather than coming to the service sector. But on the, like, if I say from the guard perspective, around 7% is the strength. But total officers, I would say, would be around 50 only.
तो आपने 50 के आसपास कमीशन ऑफिसर्स को भी अपने.
Yes.
तो सर, अगर मैं आपसे इसमें एक सवाल ये पूछना चाहूँ कि आप पर्टिकुलरली कमीशन ऑफिसर्स को किस तरह का रोल देखते हैं इन योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एंड वेयर डू यू थिंक if they join you or similar organizations, their growth path would be?
Okay. So firstly, we would love to hire the defense officers, because, so I first want to share this. It is general perception of the defense personnel is that this sector mainly deals with security, though actually it is mix of service industry, hospitality, and security. Thus, they should enter this industry with a mindset of playing multi-skilled roles, where they do not only have to provide security but handle various other aspects, such as client escalations, business retention, operation, training, fund flow management, growth of business, and last but not the least, making the business profitable. It is well known fact that Indian Army is one of the finest organizations of the world, and the officers trained are here best suited for private security industry. The only thing required is intent to grow, flexibility, and adaptability to excel in this service sector. To my observation, most of the officers, when they come out of these services, they opt for back-end security roles such as CSOs on the client side rather than delivery side of the security industry. Whereas I feel best utilization of their personality and traits would be in the private security sector, which can take them to the highest positions such as MDs and CEOs of organizations. We generally prefer short service officers who have experience of 8 to 10 years for middle management for regions, as they are energetic, flexible, and adaptable. As most of our group chairman, Major Manjeet Rajan, is also short service officer from Armored Corps.
Mhm.
Our officers with experience of around 20 years who have intent, maturity, and flexibility to adopt the requirement of the private security. We hire them for important roles like operation heads, regional heads, zonal heads, and groom them for business head roles. We also hire senior officers having an experience of more than 25 years. We recently hired flag rank officers for the business head roles. The best part of this industry, people, is there is no retirement age, as the individual is adding value and contributing to increase the bandwidth of the organization. And it is pertinent to mention here that Brigadier Rajan Oberoi, who was the force commander for NSG and has been associated with us for last 14 years, and he has been recently elevated as vice chairman of our organization. So itself narrates the story of that, yes, we are in dire need of the army officers or the defense officers, but they have to come to us.
So सर आपने जो बताया एक तो ये कि आपके पास ऑलरेडी 50+ ऑफिसर्स काम कर रहे हैं आपके साथ में,
Yeah,
प्लस यू आर लुकिंग एट ऑल 3 levels, that is short service commission officers at regional head levels, then the officers who come out after 20-22 years of service as operational heads or business roles, and then the senior officers जो 30+ या मतलब 54-55 years के एज ब्रैकेट में आते हैं for even more senior roles. And one of the officers who was ex-NSG Brigadier Obroy is what you said, sir. He
yes,
has been elevated to a pretty senior position in your organization. And
absolutely.
आपका ऐसा मानना है कि ऑफिसर्स अगर फ्रॉम द डिलीवरी साइड अगर सिक्योरिटी इंडस्ट्री को अडॉप्ट करते हैं, so the chances of them growing are higher as compared to if they come from the client side.
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you be able to touch upon some certifications or education which officers can acquire when they're wanting to transit into the security industry?
Vipul, on that, there is no certain education which is required. But like army personnel, they are already trained in this area. Like, but there are many courses like CPP is one of the like now certification for the like CSOs. Also, I think conducting 6-month courses for the like, but it is a general course for the I think corporate business. Otherwise, I don't think there is. Yes, there are many courses like online courses which are there just to enhance their skills, but there is no prerequisite for courses for coming into the security company. But if you do it, certainly it will enhance your knowledge, and I think it would be better for the army officers who are still in army. They can start like going for these certifications. There are, if you go on net, so you will find many courses even from India, from abroad. And I think before, if they do all these courses before coming to the corporate sector, it will certainly give them an insight of what all is there in the corporate security side.
सर मैं आपसे ना अभी 2 लास्ट सवाल पूछूंगा बिफोर आई मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट गेस्ट, और आप थोड़ा सा ये एलैबोरेट करें कि व्हाई इज देयर अ प्रेफरेंस फॉर ऑफिसर्स वांटिंग टू गो इनटू द क्लाइंट साइड? उसमें ऐसा क्या खास है, मतलब इज इट मोर ग्लैमर या वो बड़े नाम है, और क्यों वो जाना चाहते हैं वहां पर, और उसमें उनको नुकसान क्या है वहां जाने में? व्हाई शुड they come to the delivery side rather than going to the client side?
Vipul, I tell you very frankly, मैंने ना बहुत लोगों से बात की, and I spoke to what happens when some I was the I think in '93 when the in private sector started, because after the opening in '90, so I was I think among the first comers to this corporate side, but in like Haryana and this part of the country. So when I joined this industry, and I spoke to many like youngsters, short service commission officers. So actually, क्या होता था? Supposedly, some many short service officers they came in after 2000 to the corporate. तो फिर उनके जो दोस्त होते थे या उनको बताते थे, बिकॉज दे वर ऑन द क्लाइंट साइड, कि यार उसकी तो बहुत अच्छी नौकरी लगी एंड बिग ऑफिस, और सो द परसेप्शन वाज यार कि वो सिविल में जाके ना बहुत बड़ा ऑफिस मिलेगा, एंड देन यू आर द सीएसओ, मतलब किसी को भी एवरीबडी इज अंडर यू, एंड ऑन अदर साइड ऑफ द टेबल यू हैव टू डिलीवर, ऑलवेज यू आर इन प्रेशर, एंड कोई सैलरी में बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है. Salary might be higher than the service sector on the client side. So उनको एक that was a cozy job for them कि भी ठीक है, first let's go there, and या तो वहाँ डांट मारनी है, वहाँ डांट सुननी है, very frankly, and that is a tough job, pressure job, and in the beginning there was a cash, मतलब आपको पैसे भी कमाने भी हैं, पैसे इकट्ठे भी करने हैं, और पैसे देन बांटने हैं. सो इट्स लाइक अगर आर्मी में ये हो कि भाई आपको ये टैंक खुद ही कमा के खरीदना है, सो इट्स लाइक दैट. सो इट इज चैलेंजिंग, बट नाउ स्लोली व्हाट आई हैव सीन दी थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग, बिकॉज यू मस्ट हैव सीन कि सीएसओज, और कई बार जैसे रिसेशन आता है, व्हेन रिसेशन कम्स तो जो टॉप जॉब्स हैं, सो दे आर चॉप्ड. So but in this sector you will always see there is no age. Every day you are growing, and you can work jitna chaho, jis age tak chaho you can, if you have the energy and your fitness levels are good. So there is no problem. So only thing is, I think initially people are looking for some soft jobs, or that is the reason I think people are not coming to this, seeing the challenge. It's not that they cannot do, they can very well do it, and that's what I said, they are the best suited people for this. They are already trained to that,
मैं अगर
and
आपके
that
पास
was the
समझाऊं
reason
सर,
I left the, when I joined, I was the on the other side. But actually, it's a very good job for, I think, restless people who always a pressure life, some insecurity, some pressure. So I think,
मैं अगर आपकी बात समझे सर, आप ये बोलते हैं कि क्लाइंट साइड में जॉब थोड़ा खुशी होता है,
yeah,
बट आपके यहाँ पर बिकॉज डिलीवरीज है, क्लाइंट को हमेशा द क्लाइंट इज ऑलवेज सेइंग कि भाई ये नहीं हुआ वो नहीं हुआ, प्लस आपको शायद आगे वाले कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स भी लाने हैं, सो देयर इज अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट एंड वो भी इन्वॉल्व है, तो इसलिए लोग अवॉइड करते हैं। बट अगर आते हैं तो ग्रोथ आपके ऑन दिस साइड इज बेटर, मनी इज बेटर इन टाइम्स टू कम, और रिटायर होने की एज नहीं है तो काम भी ज्यादा टाइम तक कर सकते हैं।
absolutely. You know everything, people. On client side, you are a security head. Person can never be the managing director of the organization because he is taking care of only one aspect of that organization. But in the service side, if you choose the service side, absolutely, then you are doing multiple jobs, and you could be business head of that organization. So there are a lot of possibilities, venues, and after a time, there is a lot of financial growth also, I would say.
ऑसम सर, आखिरी सवाल,
Sir.
आपने दो तीन बार कहा कि यू आर लुकिंग एट आर्म्ड फोर्सेस ऑफिसर्स टू जॉइन, वुड यू बी एबल टू शेयर एनी पोजीशंस व्हिच आर देयर, दो चार पांच जो ये आपकी वेबसाइट पे
Yes,
जाकर के
yes,
ऑफिस
I am
के।
looking for a VP for the northern part of the country. This position is in Chandigarh. Then I am looking for one officer for the eastern part of the country. He should be based out of Calcutta or Bhubaneswar. He would be. We are looking for a person who can head the eastern part, business head position. Then we are looking for in the western part of the country. So he should be based out of Ahmedabad. He will be taking care of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Pune, Bombay, Pune, Goa, MP, Chhattisgarh, this belt. So, and there are a lot of BD positions which are open. So for like a VP, AVP, VP, so we have to take around 30 new business development officers.
Okay.
And it's a absolutely networking game. So if you have good connection, you can always develop business. So it is more interpersonal skills and relationship based.
Awesome. So all the officers who are in attendance, मैं आपके साथ में सिद्धार्थ सर का LinkedIn प्रोफाइल शेयर करूंगा. I'll request you can make a connect with them on LinkedIn. There are around 35 open positions which he has mentioned for officers. Make an application, see if these suit you, and have a roaring growth in the service side and delivery side of the security business. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find